For more on how IBM has remained on top and the challenges Rometty will face, let's bring in Brad Zelnick, senior analyst at Macquarie Capital, who covers IBM and has an outperform on the stock. He joins us now from New York. Welcome to Bloomberg West, Brad. It's obviously Ginni Rometty's second week now as CEO of IBM. How's it going so far as you know?
Thanks, Emily. And the feedback we're hearing so far has been very positive. We've had conversations coming out of meetings internally with the rank and file, and they're very excited about the next century in IBM's history. We think Ginni really has her work cut out for her, and really what's most important is really being able to seamlessly take the baton from Sam Palmisano and continue to execute on the company's 2015 roadmap.
Now, Sam Palmisano clearly did a remarkable job transforming IBM, but is there anything that Ginni Rometty should do differently than Palmisano? Anything you think she might be able to do better?
You know, I think that's a great question, Emily, and I think that, Sam has done a fantastic job during his 9 years as CEO. Go back when the company first set out its 2010 agenda and a target that nobody frankly believed they were able to achieve. And they were, even amidst the worst, sharpest economic downturn we had seen in decades, they were able to deliver and actually overachieve and hit their number a year early. We now see them embark on the next leg of this roadmap through 2015, and I think what's important is being able to continue to manage the portfolio, maintain the discipline that they have in divesting out of commoditizing businesses and investing in more IP-heavy differentiated businesses. Second, she needs to be maniacally focused on the company's growth agenda. They've done a fantastic job in growth markets. They've done a very nice job as it relates to Smarter Planet initiatives, analytics, and cloud computing. So I really think the company is very well positioned, and I think she just really needs to continue doing what they've been doing for a number of years.
IBM has already announced an acquisition under Rometty's watch. She's made some promotions, some shuffling in management. What are the biggest challenges that she is going to face?
I think the biggest challenge that she's going to face is living up to her predecessor and the momentum that the company has. IBM is really well positioned to execute and perform amidst any number of macroeconomic backdrops. As far as challenges, this is still a $100 billion plus revenue entity, and that's why, as I mentioned before, it's really about portfolio management and making sure to have a maniacal focus on trimming the losers and investing in the winners, and also to be able to take a long-term view.
Now, Brad, we're seeing a lot of other tech companies out there trying to reinvent themselves, like RIM, like Yahoo. What is it about IBM that enabled them to sort of defy the odds in this industry?
Emily, I think that's the exact question that investors need to be asking. And really, it comes down to intellectual property. When you look at the amount that IBM invests in research and development, roughly $6 billion annually, that's among the greatest investors in R&D all across tech. That compares to Oracle, for example, at roughly $4 billion a year. So that's a significant investment that they're making. In addition to that, they hold, over the past 10 years, the position as the #1 patent awardee from the U.S. Patent and Trade Office. So it's about continuing to invest in innovation, and I think that will enable them to continue to stay on top.
So what's your outlook for 2012 for IBM? Do you see more acquisitions? Do you see more changes in management, or more of the same?
We expect IBM will continue its success in consolidating the software industry. At the end of the day, we view IBM as a software company. Roughly 45% of profit comes from software, and this is what's driving the mix shift to a higher margin, richer opportunity, if you will. Per the company's roadmap that they've laid out for us, they have roughly $12 billion left to spend in consolidating the software industry, and we see many viable targets out there, and we expect opportunistically, we don't expect them to deviate from their discipline, but we expect they will continue to acquire and drive that growth agenda. As far as organizational changes, like you mentioned earlier, I think what we've seen, at least initially, makes sense, is really evolutionary and nothing that's completely unexpected. One appointment that she made was backfilling her own position. Another one of her appointments was to replace a retiring senior VP, Frank Kern, who did a great job and had been with the business since the 1970s. So we expect this evolution to continue.
Rometty has been at IBM for a very, very long time. Would you say she has the support within the company that she needs to step into Sam Palmisano's big shoes?
I absolutely do. You know, when we think beneath Palmisano, even while he was CEO, you know, the two executives that we really looked to most for direction were Ginni and Steve Mills, who run systems and software. So from everything we can tell, we think she has the support that she needs to continue to be successful, to continue to lead what is an organization of almost 400,000 employees to success in 2012 all the way through 2015 and beyond. We think the roadmap that they've laid out is frankly conservative. And as we look and test across a number of economic environments, we can see their $20 EPS target being as much as $24, $25 a share, given all the multiple levers that they have at their disposal. And in that case, the stock is worth considerably more than where it trades, and perhaps even beyond our $210 target price that we have.
We'll be watching to see if IBM can keep it up. Macquarie Capital's Brad Zelnick, thanks for joining us today on Bloomberg West.
Thank you, Emily.